Morning, everyone. Hope you don't mind if this week 4 update is a little different than usual. I feel like I didn't get as much footage shot this week as I normally do, but also I realized that it's been 4 weeks since I quit my job. So it just kind of like is sinking in. And so I figure maybe it's just a good time to sort of sit and reflect. I feel like the theme of this week for me was juggling two realities. On the one hand, I have like the future I'm envisioning where I'm optimistic and I'm thinking about all the things I want to accomplish with my comics, the kinds of stories I want to tell. How can I grow this? What can I do to make it as successful as it can be? Even this week, I spent a lot of time researching business bank accounts. I've been thinking about incorporating it because that might be a decent strategy depending on how the Kickstarter goes. But then on the other hand, I also have to think about my current situation because, I'm not there yet. And the bottom line is right now that I'm just unemployed. I applied for some unemployment benefits Sunday night, and then I'm still in the process of applying for healthcare, which ideally my coverage should start on April 1st. And then I'm just, in general, I have to be a lot more conscious of how I spend my money. And those are things I weren't thinking about before. But I feel like this is just something you're always going to have to juggle whenever you chase a dream, take a risk, or anything like that. Because, yes, there is a grand vision that you see and that you're going towards, but you always still have to deal with, what's happening in the present, whatever limitations you currently have that, haven't been fixed yet. But anyway, that was just kind of what I realized was happening with me throughout this week. Other than that, it was my birthday this week, so that was cool. I kept it pretty chill. I ordered myself a new book. I took myself out for boba and french fries, and then hung out at the comic store for a little bit, both to get inspiration and to check out my competition for a little bit. Yeah, it was a good, quiet birthday, which is exactly how I like to spend them these days, and I only want to hear from my family or close friends. Don't really do a lot for my birthday. The other thing about birthdays and getting older by another year is you don't really think about them until you think about it. And it's those moments when it hits you, and two questions always come up. It's, am I where I want to be in my life? And am I who I want to be in my life? And those questions definitely came up for me this time around, even though, 34 isn't like one of those milestone ages. Maybe 35 would be, or, 30 or 40. But now that I've made a big change to my life by my own choice and am taking it in a very different direction than, on the one hand, than I thought I would, and also definitely what people around me thought I would. It's time to wonder about that. And of course, I'm not where I want to be career-wise, in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I am where I want to be. After, again, quitting this job, I'm glad I'm not doing that at this point in my life. I'm glad I didn't spend my birthday at work going to the office. I'm glad that I'm lucky in a lot of ways of the things I have in my life. And so in some ways I am where I want to be. But I think more so than that, I am who I want to be at this point in my life, which is probably the more important question, I think. I'm happy with who I am and the choices I've been making and how much I've been just trying to improve and do more things that show that I actually have self-respect for myself. I don't know. Lost my train of thought. I thought this was going to be like a more deep, profound video, but it might not be. But taking stock of these things is important at this point in my life. I will just say that much. And so, and it's probably going to be things I'll be thinking about for a while. And of course, how the rest of this year goes. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that. That's just kind of where my head is at this point in time on this journey that I'm documenting. And I think we all have to ask ourselves those questions at some point, whether you turn 18 or 50. Anyway, that's kind of just the rundown of week 4. Like I said, it's not the usual update. I will try to get back to the more interesting vlogs and keep you updated on the day-to-day stuff. But oh, I forgot to mention, got some new artist updates. That's a good thing. That's something you might want to know. That's a little more interesting. Yeah, I got the first 10 pages of Monster Rogue sketched out. So now Taz will be moving on to inks. And yeah, making progress on that. Still waiting on some things for Makeshift. But I also myself have been planning for some bonus content that's going to be in the first issue, depending on the stretch goals of the Kickstarter. So yeah, but that's where things are at right now. We'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully week 5 will be a little more exciting. But thank you for watching, and thank you for being on this journey with me. I know there are some new subscribers popping in, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions or let me know of anything you want to see in a video, things like that. But thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.